Hi, welcome to Sumerepeat. Today I'm taking you to Sweden to share with you this cookie. It's called a Swedish Lace Cookie or Swedish Dinkel Cookie. Dinkel means spelt in German and many other European countries. It's kind of a cross between an Anzac cookie and a brandy snap for any of my Australian viewers. It's crispy, crunchy, light, a little bit sweet. So if you'd like to see how I make my Swedish Dinkel Lace Cookie, come with me and let's see. So step one for our Spelt Dinkel cookies, I'm going to show you what happened when I didn't put baking powder in it. They turned out like that instead of that. They still taste fine, but they're not a lace cookie. So I'm going to show you how to make them correctly. First step, pop your oven onto 180 degrees C, which is 360 Fahrenheit. So in the saucepan, I've got some unsalted butter, 80 grams, and I'm just going to heat it up here. That won't take very long. It'll take about a couple of minutes to heat up. And then I'm going to throw everything in. So I've got large rolled oats, and these ones I ran out of the large rolled oats and I used porridge oats. But I think I prefer the rolled oats. So I've just had a delivery. So we're doing rolled oats, 60 grams, 2/3 of a cup. And I've got whole grain spelt flour, which is 80 grams, half a cup. Baking powder, Sue, half a teaspoon. So the baking powder actually helps them spread and give you that lace quality. And in there we'll do a pinch of salt. In here I've got some dark brown sugar. If you don't have dark brown sugar, you can use light brown sugar, white sugar, custard sugar. It'll still work. I love dark brown sugar because it gives it a real caramelly kind of flavour. I've kept the scales here because I want to not fuss with putting my golden syrup in a container. I'm just going to scoop it out. So it's about 2 tablespoons or 40 grams. And it's just so much easier to pour it directly in there. And I've gone a little bit over, but that'll be fine. Throw the scales away. And in here I've got 20 mils or 2 tablespoons of milk. I've got oat milk because that's all I have here at the moment. And this butter's melted. So we'll turn that off and then I just pour that on top and start mixing. That's how simple it is. Now you might be a bit surprised because this mix is quite soggy and you might think, oh no, it's not doughy enough for cookies. Do I need to put it in the fridge? And the answer is no. All you do is you just let that now sit on the bench for about 10 minutes to do its thing. And then we start forming our cookies. So stick around because the fun part's still to come. So our 10 minutes is up and it's time to start doing the cookies. So grab 2 teaspoons. I'm just going to do a moderate sized teaspoon. These are feeling better already. I couldn't figure out why the other ones weren't working and then silly me. You want to make sure that you space them out because they will spread in the oven. So I'm going to try and do, actually we'll just do 5. I don't want to be too adventurous and do 6 because I reckon that will spread. Pop the first tray in. Let's just clean up that extra bit that I put there. I've got some on the side. Okay, I'm going to bake these for 10 minutes, but I'm going to check them at 8 minutes because I might have to pull them out if they're starting to burn too much on the edges. So the mix makes about 15 to 16 cookies, depending on how big you make them. And if you stick around, I'll share with you how I add some chocolate ganache to the center to make it even more decadent, or for a decadent dessert. So I just wanted to share with you how I made my ganache. I've had it in the fridge now, so it's gone a bit hard. So just let that soften to room temperature. All I did was I grabbed 100 mils, which is just under half a cup. That's all I had left of my double cream. And I heated it up in my small saucepan just till it was warm. And I added dark chocolate to it. And I chopped the chocolate like super fine, so it was kind of like slithers of chocolate. And once the cream was warm, I added the chocolate to it and just whisked it around, and that made my ganache. And that is what I'll put in the center of the cookies. But what I can do, we'll let that soften for about 10 minutes and I'll show you how to do that at the end. We added vanilla ice cream to some of the cookies recently, and that was absolutely delicious too. And you can use Nutella, or you can just keep them and eat them as they are. And you can store the cookies in the freezer for about 3 months, even if they've got chocolate in them, or if they're just plain. Or if you wanted to store them on your kitchen bench, they'll last about 3 days with chocolate and about a week without chocolate. Or you can store them in the fridge with the chocolate for about a week. And they might even last a little bit longer than a week without the chocolate. The first tray is out of the oven and they look so much better. And if you find that they stick to the side of your pan like mine just did, or they stick to each other, it's good to separate it before they fully cool. Now we just need to let this tray cool on the rack for 10 minutes, and then we'll pop them on this other cooling rack. But they're still a bit fragile at the moment, but they look amazing. They look just how they're meant to look. So I'm excited by that. Our Spelt Dinkel Lace Cookies are all cooked. The final tray is just cooling down. And look at that. You can actually see through them. I can see you in the camera. These are so much better than the other ones. So please don't forget the baking powder. It's integral to the lace design. Okay, I'm going to let these ones cool. So I'm going to push these out of the way. I'm going to use the ones that I baked yesterday to show you how to add this ganache. So we need a spoon or a knife. So grab one side and you just spread it on. Actually, I made it go hard because I had it in the fridge and it's still not soft enough. So if you make this and it's still warm, you just need to give it like 30 minutes to become a little bit more room temperature. Slide it on and then you can chill them in the fridge to set. But I need another spoon or enough. So I should have grabbed a knife. And as I said before, you could do Nutella if you really wanted to. So this is a naughty treat. These cookies aren't healthy, but a fun treat to impress your friends or your family and try and get 2 cookies that match. These ones don't quite match, but that's the idea. And let's do another one. And you can put a thin coat of ganache, a thick coat of ganache, whatever you like. And that's the other one. I want to share with you one last tip. If you're storing them in the freezer or just in your kitchen, I would suggest putting a layer of paper between them just so they don't stick. Because they've got the golden syrup in them and the sugar, they can be quite sticky. So I've just put a little layer of paper in between them, and then I could store these ones if I like, and then I can pop this whole container in the fridge or in the freezer. And as I said, they'll last in the freezer for 3 months. But let's do a taste test. So check these out. My little lace sandwiches, I'll eat the one that's not quite the same size. Chewy, crunchy, chocolatey. What's not to love? And as I said, for my Australian viewers, imagine that Anzac biscuit collides with a brandy snap. This is what you've got. The Swedes know something about cookies. I love this style of cookie. I hope you give it a go, and I hope you've enjoyed my video today. Hit the thumbs up, please. If you've liked my video, write a comment below, and I'll pop a few more links up above for some other cookie ideas and some Spelt recipes. And thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.